Hey guys, welcome to another session. Today is April 17th, Friday, 3:35 p.m. So today we will see tolerance groups. Um, in GL, especially financial accounting, the tolerance group. There's something called tolerance groups. As you know now, by just hearing the word tolerance, tolerance something that's how much a person can be authorized, right, to post a transaction, even to reverse a transaction, right? So reversing is also a posting. Um, right? The tolerance something how much a user um, can expose to risk, right? Or how much you can withstand, in terms of the liability. So everybody, if you go to a company, the C, I mean, different people have different accesses, right? Different credentials, different accesses, different privileges in a company. So if you look at a financial analyst who's probably very low in the hierarchy, right? She or he may have access to post a transaction to a certain extent, to a certain dollar value, right? And then he has a manager, and he probably is allowed to post something more than what the financial analyst could post, right? And there'll be director. Obviously, directors do not post, right? So they only manage, and so on. So there's a hierarchy. So the tolerance basically defines you create a group, okay, and then assign this group to the employees, whatever of employees, a group of employees you're hiring, like these are financial analysts, you belong to this group. So this group can only post this much into your document, can only clear, can only give perimeter differences, and so on. So that is called that's called the tolerance, right? So far clear?
Yes.
Right. So how do we do this? This is one of the key steps. If you do not do this, you will not be able to post a transaction. Okay. If you go to financial accounting, you make all the settings, global settings, GL account groups, GL master data, and everything you did. But before you actually post into SAP, before somebody can execute a transaction using FB01 or anything that gets into FI, which is a source of truth, you have to have the settings enabled, configured in order to have anybody, right, could post into SAP. And the configuration is really simple, right? So here, if you go to, obviously, this is ECC6, you open SAP, SPRO, display IMG, which is the implementation guide. As you all know, general ledger accounting, go to GL accounts, business transactions, and then you go to open item clearing, okay? Let's see what is there in GL posting. Is there a tolerance here? I was hoping there'll be a tolerance in the document settings now. Is this a document parking? Okay, here posting. I was really hoping that, no, it's not there, but anyways. So it's right here under the clearing differences. So let's see. For GL accounts also, you can create a tolerance group, okay? Yesterday when you guys were creating a GL account master data, right? So for example, why we have a tolerance group for GL accounts and why we have tolerance groups for employees, right? Let me ask you this question. Now you know what's a tolerance, right? And you know how accounting works and what's the GL account, what's the use of a GL account, right? The GL account, what's the use of GL account? Used to capture financial transactions, right? Because that's your source of truth. And why do you capture? To report, right? To report anywhere, right? Into internally, externally, anywhere that's your source of truth. You record the transaction in order to report. You would allocate it, you will reverse it, you will reclass it, all this you do. But end of the day, the dollar you posted, the dollar value posted will be in the tables for reporting purposes, right? Extension of transaction system is reporting. How much ever you can do with the transaction system, the extension of the transaction system is reporting, right? I agree?
Yep.
Yes.
You guys agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone agree?
Yes.
All right. So there are tolerance group for GL accounts and tolerance groups for employees. Let me ask you this: why they have SAP has a GL accounts tolerance and an employees tolerance? Can anybody answer?
For employees, I guess there is a tolerance group because based on their responsibility, they can enter the means report transactions.
Okay. Can you just give me one GL account that you created? Anybody created? There's the one. What's your company code? Santosh?
VR11.
So what's the account number?
Just pull it out.
Yeah, I found it. Don't worry.
Okay. Sure.
So one is for the tolerance group for GL accounts. Basically, you authorize in this particular GL accounts how much you can post, right? If you just visualize, if you envision your reporting, that's a lot of things goes into reporting, right? The GL accounts all combined together and goes into under different category classification, right? All your revenue accounts go under revenue. All your deductions goes under some kind of deductions, right? And then all your manufacturing goes into your cost of goods manufactured. All your marketing expenses, and they are they go into promotions, or they go into some classification, right, under the different functions. HR cost, the payroll cost will go under human resource and so on, right? Now you the revenue account, usually you're not supposed to post into manual. You're not supposed to post manually. Revenue accounts, especially in the companies, they do not let people post the revenue accounts manually. In those situations, here there is a button here, post automatically only. You will enable this. Okay, so that's why actually I asked you to go through that unit number 2 in the AC 200 or 210, the book, page number 58 to all the way to 89, I believe, right? It has all the individual features and attributes of this individual buttons or radio buttons. So post automatically only, if you click, it means nobody can post this account manually. Okay, which means only a system entry can be posted. Okay, because the revenue should come from a sales order process, right? Nobody will post manually to the sales. When I say manually, the sales order, the process should take care of your revenue posting. Okay, so similarly, they have different GL accounts with a special purpose, with a specific features. Now, I can have like 10 GL accounts where I specify, you know what, I don't want people to post like $1 million entries into the GL accounts, right? For example, travel and T&E expenditure, which is called T&E means travel and expenditure, right? I don't want people to post like $10,000. Why would people spend $10,000 on a one ticket, right? It's not possible. So I can specify, hey, this GL account, one time for one posting, you can only post $1,000. Let's say I have an account for stationery. I have a GL account for whatnot, like buying some from catering. Okay, let's say companies always buy when they work weekends and they work long hours, and then they have a party. They have a go live. Somebody's birthday party, and they spend money. They have called somebody, and they send food. And in that for those GL accounts, right, they can post like $100, $50, $200, and so on, right? So those GL accounts, they said they don't want anybody to post to the GL accounts like $500,000, $100,000, $10,000. So they can specify. It's a kind of compliance or control. SAP has enabled. SAP is allowing us. If you want to use it, you can use it. I don't see a lot of people, many people uses it. It's all specific to a company. A company has to think about it, whether can I make use of it, right? So we can create a what do you call this? For the specific GL account, you can create a tolerance. Make sense? Right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Similarly, the tolerance groups we can also create for employees, right? So like same for GL accounts, on the other side of the wall, we said, you know what, this specific group of people, the financial analysts, right, or the shared services people, or people from the warehouse workers, or people, who are not directly employed by the company and so on. So they can create a special group and then assign to the employees, and the employees have user IDs. Whenever these employees post their journal entry, then they are regulated, they are controlled, they are restricted by the tolerance groups, right? Similarly, Similarly for clearing. So there is also a, what do you call that? Even for clearing, there is a specific, tolerance groups. So this is mostly for whatever we discussed, whatever we are talking today. This is for mostly for the clearing. One second. This is for clearing. One second. Okay, I'm back. So again, in continuation, so this is mostly for the clearance. Okay, sorry, mostly for the clearing. When I say clearing, it's not necessarily for the posting. It is for clearing. When you clear, what happens, right? You have a debit entry, you have a credit entry, and you clear this. Okay, and when you clear, there could be differences. Okay, and then, like for example, I think when you get to the GL open item clearing, then you will understand much better. But for now, we can just say that any posting, clearing posting or just normal posting, it is governed by the tolerance groups. Okay. Right now, what we looked at is clearing differences by GL accounts, and then the clearing differences somebody can withstand when they clear the GL accounts, right? Similarly, they have clearing differences for vendor accounts. They have clearing differences, the tolerances for the customer accounts, and then for GL accounts as well. So what we saw just now is for GL accounts, and similarly, we go to here customer accounts and vendor accounts, and you will see. This is for incoming payments, which is for customers, and then there is one for outgoing payments, and there's also one for GL accounts. Okay, if you open GL accounts and go to business transactions, you will see it. Now, like I said earlier, the basic thing that you have to set it up in order to post into financial accounting is under document. You go to financial global settings, okay? You go to financial global setting, and then you define the tolerance groups for employees, and then assign user for tolerance groups. So this is for letting somebody to post. Okay, like earlier, everything I said, I gave a collective explanation before, but this specific area is for letting somebody, right, restrict somebody. In other words, restrict somebody to post into accounting. Make sense? So the configuration is really simple. Just open here. Okay, regardless, when you do the test system as well. So this is a step you have to do it. Otherwise, system will not let you post into accounting. So let's say a company code, you can create a tolerance group. If you don't want to create a tolerance group, usually in test system, we don't want to do this because, you could do that. Sometimes when somebody is using the same company code, they will try to run into some issues, right? So again, you go here, there's a first step, create a new entries, and then you basically say, this is my tolerance group. Let's say, group for my company code 333, and then it's obviously 80, and the amount per document is per document, right? How much I'm going to let post, who? The employees, right? The employees who will be assigned to this group, okay? So let's say this is for a financial analyst. I'm going to put, they can only post to $5,000, okay? And per amount per document. What is it per document? It's not per line item, right? Per document. And then per open item account item. So let's say I can put, it's still $5,000. They can post them to. And then how much cash discount per line item they can enter, okay? Because it is also preventing fraudulent, right? Somebody can say they can give 100% cash discount, which cannot be true, right? So he can also control so that the financial analyst or who is posting this entry is eligible to allow a cash discount at 1%, not more than that. Okay, and then permitted payment differences. Let's say you are doing the payment clearing. Let's say you have a let's see if there's SAP as an example. The maximum payment difference to our revenue. So payment differences to our advantage are allowed up to the amount entered here. The payment differences. The amount always refers to local currency. That's fine. the local currency US dollars, you have entered 30 US dollars in the revenue field and in the 1% and 1 in the percentage field. For incoming payments up to 3,000 US dollars, you accept an overpayment of maximum 1%. That means amounts of 0 to a maximum 30 are tolerated, depending on incoming payment amount. For incoming payments over $1,000, you accept an overpayment up to maximum. Yes. So basically, what they're saying here is for the revenue, let's say let's say it's a $3,000 revenue. If you put permitted difference of $30, so you can enter up to 3,030. Okay. And similarly, this for expenses. So there's a lot of combination. You can press, use the F1 button and then get help from there. Okay. So this is all simple setting that you need to make, and then hit the enter button. And what table this information is getting stored in?
Configuration.
Yeah, what table? What's the table name?
T043T.
Okay, so T043 is the table where this information is getting stored. See, T043. Okay, I'm going to save this now, or I can create a new one, but that's fine. I'm going to save this T043. It's saved. Okay, just in case, why I keep saying why I always stress on the table names, right? Why I always stress on, because it's important that you have to remember all the table names. Okay, so I can go and verify these entries. What's the table name? T043?
43T.
Right. So here's my tolerance group COR1, I believe. Okay. See, my entry is here. Okay. So why it's so important for me to know the table names? Number one, it's easier to access the table, get the information. Okay. Otherwise, you have to go through this SPRO settings, right? Like climbing down the ladder in a stairwell, right? Step by step. So if you know the table name, it's easier to go and find the entries, number one. Number two, it is very helpful at the time of implementation when you make changes in the development system, obviously, and then the changes will progress into quality system, regression system, and then maybe quality system, and then pre-production system, and finally production system. Now, every time it advances, you will not have the ability to check the configuration, the SPRO in all the systems, right? So the example, I don't know how many people get it. When they make a changes, somebody's requesting to make a changes, right? Even it could be implementation or enhancements or some kind of small changes. When they make a changes, when they make the changes, when they make a changes, the changes gets recorded in the table. Now, when they are promoting the change, right, into production system, how do you know this change was implemented in production? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me? Anybody?
Try to post a document and see if you can post a document for, let's say, 10,000. That means
No. I think you must make this, when I make this change. This is a configuration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the table and check whether the change was implemented or not.
Exactly, right? Why you can go to SPRO? I mean, you came here and make the changes, right? Why don't you go here and check in all the in each system?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
That's the faster way.
Yeah, because this configuration, right? This access SPRO, you only have this in development or regression, or you don't have this in production system. Probably not. Okay. In production system, most likely you will not have access at all. Even if you do, they'll give a limited access, so they will not give this SPRO access. Okay. So otherwise, if they do, I mean, these days I know a lot of people have. They give access, but they can restrict so that you don't see exactly what things are configured, right? But you can check in development system because the configuration will be the same in all the system. Okay, but still, this is the best way. Knowing the table is the best way, right? In order to do that. Make sense? Okay. So now I made the changes to T042. What did I do? I basically created a tolerance group for the employee to adjust tolerance groups for my company code 333. Okay. And then in that company code 333, I said how much they can post. Then what happens next? I'm going to assign this to the tolerance group. Okay, the username. So let's say whoever it is, right? Let's say I'm going to assign this to myself. I think my user ID. Can somebody tell me how can I find my user ID?
Go to
By clicking on position.
at the right bottom.
Where? Here?
In the
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So my user ID is
Okay.
idiot. So I'm going to put my name here. All right. It's what table it's going to store to?
T04.
T043.
Exactly. All right. So now that's fine. Now I am going to post an entry. If I post an entry for more than $1,000 or $5,000, it is going to stop me, right? Let's check that. FS00. I'm sorry. What's the transaction code to post an entry?
F01.
Alrighty.
T01.
Okay. Okay, that was the error message. I guess 1 second. Let me go back again. That was a warning message. Precautionary message, right? Is that right, Umar?
Yes, sir.
Enter. No amount tolerance range entered for company code 333. Why? Okay, entered for 333. Let's look at this guy just stated. For employees, which I already did, right? So when, say another advantage is when you, what did you do? From the error message, you double click the error message, right?
Yes.
This screen popped up. You can go from here too, right? It just directly will take me. So don't tolerance group specified. When I click this message here, it's just directly going to take me to that configuration. Right. So here, wait a minute. It's still thinking. Okay. So for employees. Because am I locking? Yeah, I'm locking here. Maybe. Yeah. Let's see. For employees. And then company code 333. Tolerance group. Yeah, COR1 is what I configured. Tolerance group, COR1, right? And then I guess I applied this to assign user tolerance groups. Okay, my username is this. Oh, see, this is the tolerance group. I put 333 by mistake, right? Makes sense? This is my tolerance group. I made a mistake. Now I save this. What table is going to take into? What table it will store into?
T043.
2043.
Right. Still thinking. What's still happening? Okay, I don't know why. Okay, I don't know. It's just taking time. Let me try it again. Okay. Let's try now. Yeah. Yeah, it did not save yet. I don't know why.
It didn't like the 5,000 limit.
Yeah, but it did not save yet. I don't know why. You see? So I'm gonna hang up, kill this guy, like close the session. I'm gonna redo it again. Why? Come on, come on, come on. I try to kill this. Come on. Okay. Fine, yeah. Alrighty, something wrong. I'm trying to kill the session as well. It's not working.
Maybe you have to exit and reopen it.
One thing I can do is try to log in again and see. Yeah, it worked. Tolerance groups, right? So assign user to tolerance groups. This is where I got trouble. Okay, what table is going to store into?
T043.
43.
Great. Now it got saved. Great. Now, I generally I don't like to keep the table open. I'll get back. I'll just exit from the table access. Oh, come on. Yeah. Now I don't have the error, right? Now we can post. So earlier I was having an error, right?
Yes.
Tolerance group. So I don't have an error right now. Okay. So I can post, right? So this is very important. You can control how do you want to let the employees, right? I mean, typically in implementation, the customer would ask you, how would they know these features are available in SAP, right? So they don't know SAP, right? They're just like financial analysts, directors, they're functional people, right? They're business people. They work in a business. How do they know they can take advantage of this? You can take advantage.
You have to tell them. but not voluntarily, maybe.
Correct, right? So when they buy, I mean, they buy, the customer, the client buys the SAP license, but they do not know what is inside. They probably not high level. That is why they need you. Okay, as a consultant, and you basically work with them and said, what is the requirement? And you know what? Do we have this type of SAP can do this? Okay, we can control the number of employees who can post into, substantially lower dollar values and things like this. You can work with them, and then they said, yes, we can take advantage of this. What do you need? So we give the list of employees, we can create a group and so on. That's how we work together. Make sense?
Okay.
So otherwise they would know. So you go there, and this all happens in a SAP project. Okay. You do the, then you create a blueprint. Okay. So which I mean, let's not get there. It's another big topic. So, yeah, that's all about the tolerance. It's very important that you have to configure this in order to post into your accounting system. Any questions? And then this is just for the posting. And then the one we saw earlier is for the clearing differences, which is somewhere here. Okay, I'm going to search again. Clearing differences. And you will get to know what is the clearing in when you get there, as you guys advance, and then also where there's a separate session for that, right? See, when you do this clearing differences for customers and vendors, basically if a customer has to pay you $100, but he only pays like $99. Okay, are you going to follow up with him for $1? Maybe you will, right? So can I write it off? The company said, yes, just write it off for $1. We don't want to make it simple, waste your time. Make phone calls, send them a letter. Maybe he's dead, right? That's why he cannot afford to pay $1. So what are you going to do with this, right? So don't follow up. So they would say, okay, you do this, right? But they don't give you like $10. Maybe they give $10 for managers because they apply their judgment and they are in a higher position, right? So they have a better vision of the company. So they probably give you, what? Your group of people can, clear if there's a difference of, that's a percentage, 2%, 3%, right? So that's why they use for their customers and vendors. And same thing, create a group, assign the group to the employees and so on. And then this one is the accounts for clearing differences. So when you, that's the same thing, right? When you clear these differences, incoming payment or outgoing payment and so on, how much is allowed. So you can, this all just a general idea about the functionality, which is what I focus on. Okay, the whole configuration, the step-by-step, there's a bunch of documents you could get online, or you could figure it out. All you need is what is the use of this, right? That's very important. And how you can apply it comes from your experience, and then you talk to the client, and then how you articulate, how you put these two pieces together, and how you finally dump all this information into SAP, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
All right, that's all about the tolerance group. And then, so what next? You guys continue watching. I think we should have some kind of time bound. So let me stop this. Anyway, thanks for joining.